Nice.
Now, this gets us thinking in hockey about guys being able to recapture their form the way that Mariah has. We salute you, Mariah, and all of your hits. Sergei Bobrovsky comes to mind. Number one in save percentage a few years back, 2016-17. Look at that. He, of course, of the two Vezinas. Johnny, can he lead the NHL this season in save percentage?
Can he? The answer is like Mariah. Yes, he can return to his former glory. And the Florida Panthers are certainly hoping that that is the case because they've established, the center of excellence down there, the goaltending center of excellence. They have a whole bunch of new coaches. He's settled in. He talked openly about the pressure of changing teams and the big contract. The pressure of learning a new system and new defensemen. Well, that's all gone. And so he's been one of the best goalies in the league for a few years.
No doubt.
Certainly was not last year. But if you can put that all aside and they'll be maybe a little bit better defensively and he'll be a little bit better, I'm saying it's absolutely possible he could rediscover that form and once again do the job.
It was a rough start. One win in their first 5 games and a challenge. It was not challenging for Patrick Kane to play ice hockey in 2015-16. He won the Art Ross. He won the Hart Trophy. A lot of Americans, no, he's the only one to do that from the U.S. of A. Can he, you look at his 2015-16 numbers, again lead the league in point scoring?
Yes, he can.
All right, Johnny. Preach it.
I say this with conviction because he's still up there around 100 points a year. We know he's going to play a ton. Right? He's not going to come off the ice. He's playing the full 2 minutes of every power play. He knows how to create offense. He's also playing in that division, whatever we want to call it, 2 Central, which might have some teams that are not quite as good defensively that he might be able to score against. And so I think that he is a guy that will produce points consistently. Of course, Connor McDavid's going to be there, and Nathan McKinnon's going to be there, and Draisaitl and Austin Matthews and whoever else, Jack Eichel. But he is right there in the mix with all of them. And any of those other guys, namely McDavid, if there's an injury or a dry spell or anything like that, Patrick Kane is right there in the next group of players that you would pick to win an Art Ross. So he for sure could win this award.
I like that answer, and I like that question. Steven Stamkos, obviously coming off such a remarkable campaign. Remember back roughly a decade ago when he had 60 goals. Can he lead the NHL in goal scoring this year?
I love Stammer, but the answer is going to be no.
Ooh.
Because while Steven Stamkos remains one of the best power play goal scorers, his ability to score at 5-on-5 has decreased. And if you're going to lead the league in goals, it can't be just because you're great at the one dimension. You got to be able to score everywhere. And I think also with his health, will he play 21 minutes or will he more likely play 17 as they kind of make sure to try to manage his minutes so that he's healthy to try to win another Stanley Cup. So I think some of his health is the primary reason. I just don't know if he's going to have the opportunity. He doesn't score enough 5-on-5 goals, I don't think, to take a crack at winning the Rocket one more time.
Health is a central factor in this next one. EK65. Erik Karlsson in 2015-16 led the National Hockey League in assists with 66. Remember, we kept hearing about him having half an ankle bone. That's not easy to skate on. No. Johnny, can he lead the league in assists this year?
No, he can't, because he plays with Brent Burns. So while they're both great offensive players, and sometimes they're out there together, but they didn't play together with great success last year, so they'll split up some of those high-leverage offensive moments. And so he won't get to play all of every power play, won't go through his stick all the time. That's one part of it. The other part of it is, as you mentioned, his foot. Now, he may be healthier than he's been in a while, but he still has, I think, long-term irreparable damage to his ankle. And will he be able to skate the same and get up the ice and lead the rush and skate it through the neutral zone, not just pass it through the way he once did? I don't think he'll be able to do that anymore, not because he doesn't want to, not because he doesn't train hard, because his body physically won't allow him to skate quite the same way that he once did. So I would say no, he's not going to lead the league in assists.
How about how that impacts the back end for San Jose? You think about Vlasic and Burns. What does it mean?
Well, I mean, I think between the three of them, they all have to be better next year. Burns, Vlasic, and Erik Karlsson. They make about $30 million of the $80 they're going to spend in San Jose, and that's a lot. They have to drive it forward. And if he can't, it's going to be problems. And if Burns can't and Vlasic can't, then it's going to be a tough year. If they do it again, if they get back to previous form, then San Jose will be a much better team.
You can fool the fans. You can fool the media. You cannot fool your peers. Carey Price was voted the best goalie in the world by his peers this season. Back in 2014-15, he won 44 games. Remember, the old saying is, the house always wins in Vegas? Remember he left Vegas with every trophy the NHL has?
Yep.
Well, can he lead the National Hockey League in wins this year?
No, Tone. Emphatic no.
Why?
Jake Allen is why. He's not going to play so much this year.
I see.
Montreal now has a backup goalie that should play a third of the game.
Okay.
So Carey Price is only going to play, they play 56, he's only going to play whatever that is, 40 of those games.
Makes sense.
So that's going to be different. And the fact that they're in that Canadian division. So even if he has a great year, and I think Montreal is expecting him to, he's playing a lot of good teams. The wins will not be easy to come by when you play in the Canadian division. So no, not because of lack of form, not because he won't be the best goaltender once again, not because he can't win a Vezina, but just out of opportunity. He just won't play enough games to lead the league in wins.
Makes sense. Interesting. This was fun. We're going to take a break.